see is the name. The little numbers tell you how big. It always goes rows by columns in that order. So when it's a 3 by 4, that says 3 rows, 4 columns. Rows are always the ones across. So this is a row 1, row 2, row 3, column 1, 2, 3, and 4. All good? If I'm talking about an element or an entry, it's just the number in there. So 7 is an element in my array, or an entry in the array. 8 is 5, it's 6, making sense. That's all that is. So this is a name. It's 3 by 4, so it has 3 what? 4 columns. Always in that order. You have to know what is where. Because when we multiply, we'll be multiplying rows by columns by position. So if I want to know what's in row 1, column 1, when I'm multiplying matrices, I have to multiply the first row of the first matrix by the first row of the first column of the second matrix. So you have to understand where you're at. I know that came out bad. Okay, so where's this? Row what, column what?
Row 2.
Row 2, column 2. So that means if I was multiplying, I'd be multiplying row 2 of the first matrix by column 2 of the second matrix to get there. That's why you have to understand how to name them. Not today, but it will be coming. What's this here blank? Row what?
1.
Row 3, column 1. Row 4, column 3. Okay, not hard. So when you look at this, I need name, size, entries. Name, size,
3 times 3 by 2.
3 by 2. What's in row 2, column 1?
4.
4. Row 1, column 2.
2. 1 out.
How to read? What? Okay, when we're creating an augmented matrix, generally, guys, these are straight lines all the way down, but my computer doesn't do it, so you've got dashes. Okay, an augmented matrix includes, you have to put your equations, first of all, in the same order. So if I go x, y, z on the first equation, everybody has to be an x, y, z. If it is missing one, that's a 0. That's what gets placed in your matrix. Okay, a straight matrix does not include the answers. What's after the equal. An augmented matrix does. A straight matrix will not help you solve that problem, where an augmented will. That's the difference between the two when you get to college and start talking about it. So in here, I have 1, -4, 3. Good? So that's my first row. 1, -4, 3. Good? Second row, you just take the coefficients. So it's -1, 3, -1. Questions? Okay, what's in my third row?
0.
-4. Good. That's a straight matrix. Later on, we'll show you how to multiply that type. Okay, an augmented matrix is the same thing, except after the line is the answer to the problem. So now you're going to include the 5, -3, and 6.
Crazy.
Augmented matrix. Now we're going to use the matrix instead of, remember triple elimination?
Yeah.
Okay, we're using this instead of. So this here solves triple elimination problems. You will also be able to do 4. What? I hope you still like it when we're done.
Why? Is that easier?
It's interesting.
Imagine.
Okay, when we're doing this, you have to understand what basic row operations are before we can solve. So this is just a simple introduction. This is what you can do. Okay, you can interchange 2 rows, so I can move them. Okay, I can multiply a row by any number I feel like. I can also multiply a row and add it to another. And where I'm adding it is with a row that gets replaced. So when you're doing, also you cannot multiply by 0. Not allowed. That's the only thing you can't. Because then the whole row disappears. So then instead of 3 equations, you'd be dealing with 2. So everything you get would be wrong. Who cares? All right. So right here, I want to interchange row 2 and 1. That just means you flip them. So I'm interchanging row 2 and 1. I'm going to take row 2 and put it in row 1, and row 1 and put it in row 2. That's what interchange means. I can just look where they are and just rewrite them. So your turn. Interchange row 1 in row 3 from the original. Got that? What do you got?
Rewrite this whole
2, 0, -4, and the second will be -1, 3, -1, and then the last one will be 1, -4, 3.
Good. Questions? Okay, that's interchanging. Next, we're going to multiply.
Why would you think that?
Because you are going to get the diagonals to 1 and all the rest of the numbers to 0. And the only way to do that is to multiply.
Why are you
So
erasing
here-
the answers?
What?
Why are you erasing the answers?
I multiplied row 2 by 2. So I took row 2 by 2. So the row 1 stayed the same, transferred over. Row 3 transferred over, multiplied by 2. So you got -2, 6, -2. Easy enough. Your turn. Multiply row 3 by a -1/2.
Really?
Come on, man.
Should be easy.
Come on, girls. Come on. I'm okay.
Okay, what do you got, Logan?
-1, 0, and 2.
Good. Okay, now you have to combine operations. So now we're going to multiply and replace. So, and add. So I'm going to take row 2, I'm going to multiply it by 2 and add it to row 3. So I'm taking row 2, I'm going to multiply every element by 2. I'm going to take that answer, add it to row 3. Whichever row I'm adding to are the numbers that get replaced. Okay? So row 2 times 2 is -2, 6, -2. Agreed. Understood? Now I take that, I add these two together, and I replace this row with the answer. So row 1 stays the same. Row 2 stays the same. Good? So even though I multiplied row 2, I do not replace row 2. So 2 and -2 is 0. Understanding. Questions? 0 and 6 is the 6. -2, -4 is -6. So row 3 got replaced with my operation. Good? Okay, your turn. I am telling you, you need all those numbers. So I multiplied row 3 by -1/2. What did you get? -1, 0, 2. You added that to row 1. That means you replaced row 1 with the answer. 0, -4, 5. So that's your new matrix. Yes? Okay. Now that you know how to use your operations. All right. In an augmented matrix, our goal is to get the diagonals to 1, because the diagonals represent the variables, your x, y, and z. Everything else has to be 0, except for the answer. Okay, we're going to do the first half today. So we're going to do one side of the augmented matrix today, and then tomorrow we'll do the other side.
Well, it makes it sound like it's going to be really long.
Yeah.
It is. You are correct.
My.
All right. First, this is where our problem starts. Everybody there? Okay. You have to know how to write your augmented matrix. So everything has to be in the same order. Since I have X, Y, Z in the beginning, everybody's X, Y, Z. Good? Yep. So everybody's in the right order, I'm happy. Okay, my coefficients, 1, -4, 3, 5 is the answer, so it goes after the line. Good so far? Okay, -1, 3, -1, -3 after the line. Don't forget your 0 for your y. So 2, 0, negative 4, 6. The goal is to get your diagonals as 1. So all of these have to become 1. Everything else has to become a 0. All of those are going to be zeros when we're finished. Today, we're going to work on these 3. Okay. Okay, so far. I know.
Could you redo that?
What's the concept again?
To get x, y, and z. Because when I'm finished, right now, this is x minus 4y plus 3z equals 5. Agreed?
So wait, no, we're trying to get them all to equal 1.
Yeah,
I'm thinking you should
because
do
if
it.
they're all ones, this would be x equals this number, y equals this number, z equals this number. If they're all zeros, then the diagonals are 1.
I'm lost.
We're using this to find the variables.
We are finding what the variables equal. You are doing triple elimination, augmented form. It's a puzzle, is what it is.
It's like you really stupid puzzle.
It's,
Isn't this math not puzzle on?
okay, here we go.
First,
Now, when you do this, you have to do it in the right order, or you're gonna mess yourself up. So we always start with row 1, column 1. We want this guy to be 1, which he is. So that's easy, I'm done.
Does he always want to be 1?
Yes. And then I need to change this one to 0. So I just start, I work this row, then this one to the diagonal. So this is first, 1. Then I have to get this to 0 and this to
3,
1.
1.
Then this is a 0, this is a 0, and this is a 1. In that order. That's
Why?
You'll see. If you don't do them in that order, you will mess
I
it
don't
up.
understand
We'll
why.
try it. I'll let you mess up. I'll show you why they work that way.
Why do you want a 0?
Because that gets you the equation.
So
Yes.
you said you wanted 1. Now you
No,
want 0?
I want the diagonals to 1, everything else 0. Matthew, you have to listen to the full
Oh,
sentence.
I'm listening. I'm just
Okay.
confused.
Go.
I'm thinking you just honestly need to do it.
We are. Here we go. Voices are off. First one's 1. I'm happy. I'm done with row 1 for now. Because the first one's a 1. This guy's 1. Row 1, column 1 is
Yeah, that
1.
makes sense. It's
Life's
1.
good.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to go to row 2. I need that negative 1 to be a 0. So I have to figure out how to make him equal 0. I could add 1. Well, where do I have a 1 in my equation?
You have a one nowhere.
I do.
Oh, yeah, you know one.
Right here. So if I take row 1, add it to row 2, I'm going to get a 0. That's what I want, right? So I'm going to take row 1 plus row 2. And it's going to replace row 2. So 1 minus 1 is 0. Good?
0.
Negative 4 plus 3, negative 1. 3 plus negative 1, 2. 5 minus 3, 2. Everybody understand that step? What part?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I see what it's
Okay.
doing.
You can get there lots of ways.
Come on, girl. That makes sense.
All right, now what's the next number I want to change? I'm going in order here.
2.
I want it, no,
3.
I want this negative 1 to be a what?
Positive.
A positive 1. I did him first.
This is.
Then I went 0.
Oh, I
This
got it.
guy has to be 1.
That's why it has to be in order.
Yeah.
So then.
How do I make him 1?
Go to the
That's
rest.
wrong.
Multiply by negative 1.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you can. So I'm just going to take that row and multiply by negative 1.
Whole thing.
The whole thing. So that becomes 1, negative 2, negative 2. Good? Okay, so row 1 is done. I have a 1. Row 2 is done. I have a 0 and a 1. Now I have to work with row 3. Who do I need to change?
2.
The 2 has to change to a
0.
0. How am I going to get him to be 0?
Negative
0.
2. Negative 2.
I cannot multiply by 0.
Negative 2.
Negative 2. So I'm going to multiply this guy by negative 2 and add him
Oh.
to row
Oh, okay.
3.
That's what you're doing.
All right?
Yeah.
So this becomes negative 2, 8, negative 6, negative 10. Okay? and I'm at, okay, why did I get a look? I got looks.
We're super
It
confused.
doesn't become.
It's a Monday, you
using
know?
that.
I'm just using that. That's what you should be doing in your head.
Okay.
This is -2 plus 2 is 0. Okay, I had other kids in my other class couldn't do that in their head, so I wrote it up. Do you want it gone?
Really what?
They couldn't do this step in their head, they got lost.
Just keep writing it up, I think.
Just get it.
What else is going
It has to be one, that was your first step.
It has to be one.
This is
So make it one. So like it was 5, I would have divided everybody by 5.
Okay, man, this is like you and I trying to do this thing.
That makes sense? What? The whole thing. You're off?
Okay, so.
Okay, so I'm adding up. 8 plus 0 is 8. -6 plus -4 is -10. -10 plus 6 is -4. Are we good? Okay, I've got,
Eight.
yeah, I have to get rid of the 8.
Times that.
Okay, what do you,
Top times 2 and then that.
I want to show you why that's wrong. And that's what a lot of people want to do. They say, hey, I'm going to multiply this one by -2. Okay, off to the side, we're going to do this wrong. So you understand.
Alright.
If I take the top by, here, let's just rewrite this out. 1, -4, 3, 5, 0, 1, -2, -2, 0, 8, -10, -4, right? If I multiply, listen, Matthew, the top by -2 and add it to here. Good? What's -2 times 1? Plus 0. I just replaced my 0 with -2. You undid your work. You understand?
What?
What's the best one? Actually, what's the row you should be using? The
One.
second row. Why do I want to use the second row?
Zero.
Because it's got a 0. He's not going to mess anything up. So what am I going to multiply the second row by? -8. So I'm multiplying him by -8. Where do you want me to write that? Underneath? So 0, -8, 16, and 16. Good? Add it up. And now we have 0, 0, 16, 12. Or 6 and 12, sorry. Okay, I'm doing well. I got 1, 0, 1, 0, 0. Who's next? The 6, and he's got to change to 1. How do I get into 1?
Top column.
No.
Easy, do not make this hard.
Second.
Divide by 6. Divide by 6, and I get 1 and 2.
Wait, I thought
Now
you
you're
have to divide by 6.
So that means you
Never once did I say that.
Yeah, but
What?
you can't tell your X, Y, and Z.
I can get my X, Y, and Z, because right now, what does this mean?
G.
Z equals
2.
2. So let's just rewrite these. This is not what augmented are for, but this should help you understand, because we're going to go backwards tomorrow and change this, this, and this to a 0, so our answers are already in our matrix, so it does all the work for us. But let's show you what substitution is. So right now, we have X minus 4Y plus 3Z equals 5. Everybody understand that equation?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, the next one is just Y minus 2Z equals -2. The next one is Z equals 2. How do you solve?
Well,
Get back in, put
equals
Z
2,
in
so
Y.
1
Plug that in and you get Y equals
Ever.
2.
And you can plug that in.
Yep, then you plug those two in here, and you get X equals 7. So, your three answers are 7, 2, 2. You have solved that. Okay, you ready for yours?
Probably not. Yeah.
I think you use 3 checkers.
Carter.
Hey, Carter.
All right, let's give him the answer so he can see this.
Ain't gonna know what it is.
I know.
He's probably gone. He's probably like.
He can always pause and rewrite, right?
No.
You're reading this, it's too late.
Okay, so now I'm going to erase these. Maybe. You guys did better than the last class. We might get through more of
This
this.
is hard.
Yeah, it's just hard to keep your stuff to go.
Okay, what are my
I
equations?
showed Judd that.
W equals 3.
Oh,
No.
you wanna start the bottom one?
No,
I'm gonna start the top one, just so nobody gets lost.
Minus.
So, x plus 2y minus
Z
z.
is equal to 2.
Now what have I got?
Y plus Z minus 2W is equal to negative 3. Z minus W is equal to negative 2. W is equal to 3.
Any questions?
Alright, so
So what do we do?
plug in 3 for that Z. So
Plug in
the-
3 here, so z equals what?
2 was 2.
1.
Now what?
Put in the third row.
So y plus 1 minus 2 times 3.
That would give us
Now what? Plug it in. So now we have x plus 2 times 2 for y minus 1 for z equals 2. So 4 minus 1 is 3. So x equals negative 1. This is very messy.
What was Z? What Z equals?
Z equaled 1. So x is negative 1. Y is 2. Z is 1. W is 3.
do it right now.
Yeah.
So just take like 30
That's only 4 points.
That's 1 point actually in 4 dimensions. This is what it is.
How does something like that? We can do it.
So what does this do for me?
What this actually is you would use this when you have multiple variables and
How many parts does that cover?
Are we gonna get 3 days to do this?
that's not even done. That's only half your problem.
Okay, then we're gonna need 4 days.
You're gonna need 4 days to do a problem?
Yeah, seriously.
All right. Okay, that is.
Did not erase anything, alright?
I got it.
Go!
I'll